So today we are starting with the very first poem from your English textbook, and the name of the poem is Past, Present, Future by Emily Bronte. Now, before we start with the poem, let me tell you something, a brief about the writer. Now, Emily Bronte, she was an English novelist and poet. That is, means she has written novels as well as many poems. And the poem Past, Present, Future by her was written in the year 1836. And the best thing is that Emily Bronte, she uses nature to talk about her feelings, about her emotions, and many ideas in the poem. Even in this poem, when we recite the poem, you will be able to see how she uses nature to express her thoughts and feelings. Now, before we start with the poem, I want you to tell me what does the word past and future mean? Wait, I'll unmute Hani Shukla. Hani Shukla, tell me what do you understand by the word past? Okay, Isha, tell me.
Future means which will come in our life.
Isha, I asked you, what do you mean by the word past?
The the events which
Okay, Svetlana, tell me.
Hello, teacher.
Yes, tell me.
Teacher, past means the thing which we have done.
Okay, yes. You can unmute yourself.
Thank you, teacher.
Snehal, tell me, what is present?
Hello,
Yes, what is present?
that time is going now.
Okay. And Sharvari, tell me, what's future?
Future means the thing which are happening, which are coming to happen.
Yes, very good. You can mute yourself. So, as all three of you have correctly said, past means the time which has already gone. That is the time which will not come back. Now, the time from the time you were born, you were a little child till now, till some time back was your past. Your present is the time which is going on right now. That is, I am teaching you, you are listening to me. This is our present time. And future is the time that will come. Okay, so now just as I asked you these three questions, in the same way, in this poem, the poet Emily Bronte has asked a small child what the past, present, and future is to the child. Now I'll recite the poem. You have to pay attention. I might ask you questions in between. Tell me, smiling child, what the past is like to thee. An autumn evening soft and mild, with a wind that sighs mournfully. Tell me, what is the present hour? A green and flowery spray, where a young bird sits gathering its power to mount and fly away. And what is the future, little one, happy one? A sea beneath a cloudless sun, a mighty, glorious, dazzling sea stretching into infinity. Okay, I've recited the poem for you, and we shall understand each stanza in detail. Now I want Harshita, I've unmuted you. Read the first stanza. Okay, Shravan.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, read the first stanza.
Okay, teacher. Tell me, smiling child, what a past is like to thee. An autumn evening soft and mild, with a wine that sighs mournfully.
It with the wind. It is wind, okay? Now, as I said, in the first stanza, the poet is asking a child about his past. And what reply is the child giving to the poem? to the poet, what the past is like to thee. Thee means you, and here you, who is you? You is the child. The poet is asking the child, what was his past? How was his past? So, the smiling child, what does the smiling child say? He compares his past to an autumn evening. Do you all know autumn season? Yes, type in the chat box. What happens in an autumn season? Yes, many of you know. Okay, what is an autumn season? What happens in autumn season? Okay, yes, leaves fall. Yes, very good. I'll show you a photo, an image. See, you can see in this. This is an autumn season in which all the leaves, they shed their leaves from the trees. They shed their leaves and flowers, and you will, on the ground, you will find plenty of leaves, all the dried leaves. This is the autumn season. So the poet compares his past to the autumn season when the trees shed their leaves. And but the poet is very sad. Now, why is the poet sad? The poet is sad because his past is gone. He cannot go back to his past. Now, tell me, can you become a small child again? Yes, in the chat box. No, yes, you cannot be a child again because the time is gone. That is the reason the poet is sad, because his past is gone. And how is he telling his past is gone? He's comparing the past to a wind. He's telling even the wind is mourning. He sighs mournfully. Now, what is sigh? You know, sigh means when we take a deep breath in sadness and we leave it like, we make this sound, right? This means sighs. Even he's saying that my past is like an autumn evening. Even the wind is sad. Okay, so the poet is comparing his past to an autumn evening, and the poet is sad about his past because he's thinking of all the good times that has happened, and he knows that that time will not come back. Okay, so this was the answer that the poet gave to the question about his past. Yes, Arushi, tell me, what
Yes,
was the
teacher.
past of the child?
The poet is telling that past was an autumn season, and that was so mournfully.
Yes, okay. Now let us move to the second stanza. Now, in the second stanza, the poet is asking the child about his present. Okay. Now, who wants to read? Tushar, raise your hand. Shravan. Shravan, read the second stanza.
Okay, teacher. Tell me what is the place and the hall? A flower display where a young bird sits cattling its power to mount and fly away.
Yes. Now, in the second stanza, the poet is asking the child about present hour, about his present time. And what answer does the child give to the poet? He's comparing his present green and flowery spray. Now, you know what is a spray, right? You must have seen a paint spray. When we spray on a certain area, that entire area gets colored up. Okay, so the poet is comparing his present art to a flowery spray, but of greenery, a spray of greenery and flowers everywhere. Like in the rainy season, you must have seen now everywhere around you, you will find greenery, greenery. So the poet is comparing his present time to a green and flowery spray that is greenery everywhere. There are beautiful flowers, gardens, and trees around him. And this is making the child very happy. Now, even you all, when you go to gardens or when you see flowers, you become happy, right? All the greenery, when we look at greenery, we become happy. So the present hour for the child is like a green and flowery spray, which is making the poet very happy. And his present hour, he's also preparing his present hour for his future. Now your present time becomes very important, children. Now, if you want to become something in future, What you have to do? You have to work hard from today. Now, some of you will want to become doctor, some engineers, and what you'll have to do, you will have to study hard. So your present time becomes very important. Your present time is in your hand. So even the child is saying is like a young bird who is sitting and gathering all its power. Gathering why all its power? To mount and fly away. Now, when the bird is small, he doesn't know how to fly. So what he has to do, he has to take a step. Now the bird will first climb the branches and he will go at the tip of the branch and he will mount. Mount means to take a jerk, to jump up. Okay? Mount means to jump up. When now even in if you're in aeroplane or something, the aeroplane directly does not fly from the ground. It goes to a certain speed, then it takes a jerk. Okay, that it goes up. That means mount. So the poet is telling that the present hour for him is like a bird who is gathering all its power to mount and fly away. Okay, so this is about the child's present time. He's comparing to a green and flowery spray that he's telling that his present is like greenery everywhere. He's very happy about his present time. See, it was little sad about his past. Why he was sad? Because the past is gone and the past won't come back. But he's very happy for his present because he knows that his present time will take him to a better future, to a bright future. And that is the reason, just like a bird, he is gathering all its power to mount and fly away. Okay, so Arushi, tell me, what is the child comparing his present hour?
Teacher, he is saying that if you want to become anything in future, you have to work hard to mount and fly away.
Yes, and he's comparing the present hour to a green and flowery spray. That is greenery sprayed all around. Okay, now let us move to the third stanza. Now, in the third stanza, the poet is asking the child about his future. Now, let us see what answer does the child give him. Yes, Shreya, I have unmuted you. You can read the stanza.
And what is a future happy one? A sea with a countless sun, a mighty, gorgeous, glazing sea,
Yes.
stretching into infinitely.
And what is the future happy one? Now, happy one also is the child. The poet, see, in all the three stanza, he's asking the child. And one time he's saying a smiling child, a happy child, is giving different names to the child. Okay, different adjectives to the child. Now, here he has asked the child about his present time and about his future time. And in the future, what does the child reply? He compares his future to a cloud sun. Now, do you know what is cloudless? Yes, I want in the chat box. What do you mean by cloudless? Yes, cloudless means there are without clouds. Yes, very good. Cloudless means there are no clouds in the sky and the sun is very bright. This means for the child, the future is very bright. Now see, you all must have visited a beach. So when you are at a beach, you must have observed that the sun rays, it falls directly on the water and you cannot see what is beyond it. Beyond it, that means it is endless. That is the meaning of infinity. So for the child, the future is like infinity. It is like endless. He has many plans. It is mighty, glorious, dazzling. He is using so many adjectives for the sea. Okay, because he is telling, the child is saying that the future for him is like dazzling sea which is stretching into infinity. That means it is endless. It does not have a limit. Okay, it does not have a limit. As I said, when you stand at a seashore, you can see that the sun rays directly falls on the sea and you can only see that shining. The sea also looks mighty, glorious, dazzling. It shines and it stretches beyond infinity. Okay, so for the child, the future is like infinity. That means he will get a number of opportunities. There are number of opportunities waiting for him. It is endless. And if he works hard today, he will definitely get all those things in his future. Okay, so have you understood till now? In this poem, the poet has asked the child only 3 questions in the 3 stanza. That is, in the first stanza, he has asked the child about his past. In the second stanza, the poet has asked the child about his present. And in the third stanza, the poet has asked the child about his future. And in the third stanza, tell me, Vedant, tell me, what is the child compared his future to?
Teacher, the child has been told, teacher, the sea is not, teacher, is a mighty and glorious. And teacher, the sea is stretching into infinity.
Yes, compared his future to a cloudless sun and his
Sun.
future to be something endless, stretching
Yes.
into infinity. That is
Infinity.
endless. Yes, very good. You can mute yourself.
Thank you.
So I hope the poem is clear to you all. Let us see some new words. I've already explained you their meaning while teaching the poem. Just let us have a reading of it. Shruti Mane, read the meaning of the new words.
Sighs, deep, audible breath expressing sadness.
Yes, okay, wait. You can mute. Arushi,
Yes, teacher.
the second one.
What?
Read the second point, the second new word.
Mournfully, the expression of sorrow.
Okay. Snehal.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, mute yourself. Arushi, mute.
Thank you.
Snehal, read the
Hello?
word.
Mount to go up.
Can you tell me why was the word mount used in the poem?
Hello?
Why was the word mount used in the poem?
Because the child where a young bird is getting its power to mount and fly away.
Yes, very good.
Thank you, teacher.
Vaishnavi,
Yes, teacher.
yes, read the next word.
Dazzling, extremely bright.
Yes, and for what was that word dazzling used for?
The dazzling used for the cloudless sun and the mighty, glorious and the dazzling sea.
Sea, yes, the word dazzling was used for the sea. Shreya Thakur, read the next word.
Infinity, endless.
Yes, and why did the poet use the word infinity?
Teacher, because the future is endless.
I can't
It
hear
can't.
you. Sohan, yes, Shreya, read the next word.
Mighty, powerful.
What was mighty used for?
The mighty used for processing power of strength.
The sea. Okay.
Yes.
Gentle fall and the powerful sea full of opportunities and unbothered by
Patricia, teacher.
clouds.
Yes, teacher.